James Stephen Donaldson, known to the entire world as MrBeast, was born on May 7, 1998, in Wichita, Kansas. However, his real story begins in the small city of Greenville, North Carolina, where he grew up and which he still calls home today. Biography: Jimmy was the middle child of three, the second of two U.S. military veterans, including his mother, Susan Parisha. The Donaldson family moved frequently during Jimmy's childhood because of his mother's military career. The family situation was far from easy. Jimmy's parents divorced in 2007, and he has no contact with his father to this day. His mother later revealed she experienced physical, sexual, and emotional abuse throughout the marriage, finally deciding to leave with her children weeks after what she described as an almost fatal fight because his mother was often on active duty, working 12-hour days. A series of au pairs primarily cared for young Jimmy and his siblings. The family moved to 3 different cities by the time he was just 7 years old. Biography: despite the moves and the difficult home life, Jimmy was primarily raised in Greenville, North Carolina. He has spoken openly about the fact that he doesn't have any vivid memories of his life before age 11. Biography: in a documentary, Donaldson described himself as having an obsessive personality, and a tendency to fixate on his interests, such as Lego toys and baseball. Baseball, in particular, was the great love of his early childhood. He practiced relentlessly, dreaming of a future in the sport. Everything seemed to be going well, until life threw him a devastating curveball. Jimmy was a committed baseball player throughout his school years. At Greenville Christian Academy, he played as an outfielder for several years. He practiced 2 to 3 hours every single day. Baseball was his identity, his passion, and he believed it might be his future. Then, at age 15, everything changed. In 2015, at just 15 years old, MrBeast was diagnosed with Crohn's disease, a condition that causes severe inflammation in the digestive tract. This was not a minor illness. Jimmy lost 40 pounds because he was going to the bathroom up to 10 times per day. The fatigue was overwhelming. He had no energy. He did not want to go to school. He had to stop playing baseball, the sport that had been his second greatest passion after YouTube. Substack +2. Jimmy himself later described it on the Joe Rogan Experience podcast. I played baseball non-stop, and then when I got Crohn's, I lost like 50 pounds. And with those words, his baseball dream was over. Biography. But here is where Jimmy's story becomes truly extraordinary. Rather than letting illness defeat him, he channeled every last ounce of his energy into the only other thing he loved, making YouTube videos. Even today, the battle with Crohn's disease never truly ends. Jimmy has spoken openly about living life on hard mode, because treating Crohn's disease requires essentially shutting down the immune system. He gets sick constantly. He has contracted COVID 6 times, gotten the flu, and even developed shingles. He says that if he didn't spend so much time working, he would dedicate himself entirely to researching a cure for Crohn's disease. Unilad Tech. In his own words, you just have to really love what you do and push through. It's pretty brutal. Unilad Tech. This is the foundation of Jimmy Donaldson's story. Not luck, not privilege, but a sick teenager from a broken home who refused to stop. In 2010, when YouTube was only 5 years old, an 11-year-old Jimmy from North Carolina first started exploring the platform. From the very first video he watched, he was completely hooked. The future of social. In February 2012, at the age of 13, Jimmy officially launched his YouTube channel. He named it MrBeast 6000, after the gamertag his Xbox account randomly generated for him. Encyclopedia Britannica. Jimmy himself later admitted that these were years of making videos no one watched, with most uploads receiving only a few hundred views. Nazara Circle. But Jimmy was not just making videos, he was studying. Obsessively, relentlessly. There was a 5-year period in his life where he was, by his own description, relentlessly, unhealthily obsessed with studying virality and the YouTube algorithm. He would wake up, order Uber Eats, and sit at his computer all day studying, just studying, non-stop, along with other YouTubers who shared his obsession. Wikipedia. His friends thought he was crazy. People around him kept telling him to get a real job, get a life, stop being so obsessed with YouTube. He recalled people saying, all you do is talk about YouTube videos. You're too obsessed with YouTube. Get a life. Encyclopedia Britannica. Jimmy kept going anyway. Jimmy graduated from Greenville Christian Academy in 2016, a private evangelical Christian high school. At his mother's insistence, he enrolled at East Carolina University to continue his education. Encyclopedia Britannica. University lasted almost no time at all. Instead of attending classes, Donaldson would make and edit videos in his car. Picture that for a moment. the future #1 YouTuber on the planet, sitting in a college parking lot, filming and editing videos because he simply could not bring himself to walk into a classroom. Encyclopedia Britannica. He briefly attended Pitt Community College in Winterville, North Carolina, before dropping out entirely. Nazara Circle. In late 2016, once he was making just enough money from YouTube to survive, Donaldson dropped out of college to pursue content creation full-time. His mother strongly disapproved of this decision and forced him to leave the family home as a result. Wikipedia. Think about what that means. An 18-year-old boy, living with a chronic incurable illness, kicked out of his family home, no degree, no backup plan, with a YouTube channel that had, by mid-2016, Jimmy had around 30,000 subscribers. For someone who had been grinding away for 4 years, this was a deeply modest number. But the algorithm was about to reward all that obsessive studying. Then came January 2017, and a video that would change YouTube history forever. In January 2017, Donaldson published an almost day-long video of himself counting from 1 to 100,000. The actual ordeal took him 40 hours, with some parts sped up to keep it under 24 hours. Wikipedia. The world went insane for it. Why did it work? Jimmy's own explanation was simple: if I really go all in, be creative and unique, and do things that just no one else would do because they're so hard and take so much effort, people have no choice but to watch it. It's just interesting. Substack. The video was absurd. It was unique. It was something no one had ever seen before, and no one else would ever bother to do. And tens of thousands of people watched it within days of upload. Soon after the video, the 19-year-old reached more than 1 million subscribers. Biography. 4 years of invisible struggle. Then one video. 1 million subscribers. The formula was cracked that in June 2017, Donaldson earned his first brand deal, from a digital collectibles app called Quid. Wikipedia. What Jimmy did next defined his entire career philosophy. The brand offered him $5,000 for the deal. Jimmy negotiated it up to $10,000, so that he could give the entire amount away to a homeless person on the street. This was the first time a brand sponsored one of his videos, and Jimmy gave every dollar of it away. Wikipedia. The video went viral. The internet went wild. Here was a teenager who had just gotten his first real sponsorship money, and instead of keeping it, he gave it all to a stranger in need. Jimmy quickly understood the mechanics of what had happened: use revenue from advertising and sponsorships to give money away to people, which creates more viral videos, which attracts larger brand deals, which, no great story is a solo story. Jimmy understood early that he needed the right people around him. In 2017, as the channel began to grow rapidly, Jimmy hired 4 of his childhood friends, Chris Tyson, Chandler Hallow, Garrett Ronalds, and Jake Franklin, as full-time employees. These friends became the core cast that would appear in his videos for years to come. Nazara Circle. These were not just employees, they were family. Jimmy brought the people who had known him longest, who had believed in him when almost no one else did, and he built his empire with them. This loyalty became a defining characteristic of the MrBeast brand. His mother, Sue, who had once kicked him out of the house for dropping out of college, eventually became a key part of the business as well. She now serves as the Chief Compliance Officer of MrBeast LLC, managing the company's expenditures, contracts, banking, and personal affairs. Biography. As of 2023, Jimmy employs over 250 people, from writers and editors to producers and business managers, many of whom are people he has known personally for years. Wikipedia. Once the formula was established, the growth was relentless. Every year brought something bigger, something more jaw-dropping, something the world had never seen before on a YouTube channel. 2018, Donaldson had given away more than $1 million through his stunts and challenges, earning him the unofficial title of YouTube's biggest philanthropist. Wikipedia. 2019, Team Trees. Jimmy co-founded the Team Trees campaign, a fundraiser for the Arbor Day Foundation, which has now raised more than $24 million. A single YouTuber mobilized the entire internet to plant trees. The world started to realize that MrBeast was something entirely different from any creator that had come before. Wikipedia. 2020, Beast Philanthropy. In September 2020, MrBeast launched a dedicated spin-off channel called Beast Philanthropy, where all ad revenue, merchandise earnings, and sponsorships go ent. November 2022, MrBeast's main channel surpassed 100 million subscribers, making him only the second individual creator in history to reach that milestone. Nazara Circle. July 2024, MrBeast became the first channel to surpass 300 million YouTube subscribers. Encyclopedia Britannica. June 2025, he became the first individual creator ever to surpass 400 million subscribers on YouTube. The Famous People. April 2026, MrBeast now has more than 479 million subscribers on YouTube alone, the most subscribed channel on the entire platform. In 2022, he founded Feastables, a snack brand that makes chocolate bars from ethically sourced cocoa. Jimmy launched it with his trademark gamified style. Every purchase gave customers a chance to win prizes, including appearances in his videos. Encyclopedia Britannica. In 2023, he partnered with fellow influencers Logan Paul and KSI to create Lunchly, a brand of prepackaged snack kits marketed as a healthier competitor to Kraft Heinz's Lunchables. Team Seas, a fundraiser for Ocean Conservancy and the Ocean Cleanup, raised over $30 million. In 2025, Team Water raised over $40 million for WaterA. In 2024, Donaldson collaborated with Amazon Prime Video on the large-scale game show Beast Games, a competition inspired by his Squid Game video, with contestants competing for $5 million. This marked Jimmy's transition from YouTube creator to mainstream television producer. This is perhaps the most misunderstood part of the MrBeast story. People see a man giving away millions and assume he must be hoarding billions somewhere. The reality is far more interesting. Brand sponsorships and Google's AdSense program primarily fund Donaldson's productions. By 2022, he was reportedly spending approximately $1 million on each flagship video, supported by earnings from his lower-cost reaction and gaming channels. Each viral success attracts larger brand deals and higher AdSense income, which fund even bigger productions, a self-perpetuating cycle of reinv. A typical MrBeast video today costs between $3 million and $5 million to produce, with some elaborate stunts exceeding $10 million. Nazara Circle. And the money that comes in, it goes straight back out. Every single dollar generated by YouTube has been poured back into content from the very beginning. His first brand deal helped him buy a microphone, then a camera, then a better camera. Now he gives millions to fans every month and builds insane custom sets for every video. The future of social. In a February 2026 interview with Fortune magazine, Jimmy said, "I don't have $2 billion in my bank account. I put everything into the next video. If I stopped making content, I'd be broke in 2 years." Nazara Circle. This is the great paradox of MrBeast. The most popular creator in internet history is, in his own words, perpetually cash poor because he reinvests absolutely everything. After reading this entire story, one question remains: what is the real reason MrBeast succeeded when so many others failed? Before any fame, before any money, there were 5 years of waking up every morning and spending the entire day studying YouTube, studying the algorithm, studying virality, studying what made people click and watch and share. Most people give up after a few months of no results. Jimmy gave 5 years. Every dollar earned went back into the next video. This is not natural human behavior. Most people earn money and keep it. Jimmy understood that money was fuel, not a reward. MrBeast pioneered a style of editing involving loud sound effects, fast cuts, flashing lights, and zero pauses, keeping viewers engaged every single second. This style was so effective that it became the dominant format across YouTube, a phenomenon analysts called MrBeastification. The giveaways were not just marketing. Jimmy genuinely believed in using his platform to help people. Real cars, real houses, real money. The generosity in his videos was always authentic, and audiences felt that authenticity. A typical MrBeast video today costs between $3 million and $5 million to produce, with some elaborate stunts exceeding $10 million. Nazara Circle. And the money that comes in, it goes straight back out. Every single dollar generated by YouTube has been poured back into content from the very beginning. His first brand deal helped him buy a microphone, then a better camera. Now he gives millions to fans every month and builds insane custom sets for every video. The future of social. In a February 2026 interview with Fortune magazine, Jimmy said, "I don't have $2 billion in my bank account. I put everything into the next video. If I stopped making content, I'd be broke in 2 years." Nazara Circle. This is the great paradox of MrBeast. the most popular creator in internet history is, in his own words, perpetually cash poor because he reinvests absolutely everything. After reading this entire story, one question remains. What is the real reason MrBeast succeeded when so many others failed? Before any fame, before any money, there were 5 years of waking up every morning and spending the entire day studying YouTube, studying the algorithm, studying virality, studying what made people click and watch and share. Most people give up after a few months of no results. Jimmy gave 5 years. Every dollar earned went back into the next video. This is not natural human behavior. Most people earn money and keep it. Jimmy understood that money was fuel, not a reward. MrBeast pioneered a style of editing involving loud sound effects, fast cuts, flashing lights, and zero pauses, keeping viewers engaged every single second. This style was so effective that it became the dominant format across YouTube, a phenomenon analysts called MrBeastification. The giveaways were not just marketing. Jimmy genuinely believed in using his platform to help people. Real cars, real houses, real money. The generosity in his videos was always authentic, and audiences felt that authenticity.